a unibrow, Rapunzel long hair, and hopes of having my very own high school musical. 4 years ago, I immigrated to Canada. My bright eyes were hopeful to be accepted in this new world. But just after the first week of school, my unibrow had to be waxed, my long hair was gone. My acne had to be covered in layers and layers of makeup. But despite all this, my self confidence was shattered right after the incident that still lives vivid in the corner of my heart. I was in grade 10. Our PE class was playing a game which I had never played before. It involved hitting each other. They called it dodgeball. I didn't know the rules, and since I was new, no one really wanted me on their team. So I was the last one to be chosen. My heart was pounding with nervousness as I shyly stood in the back of the gym. The coach whistled, and the game started. I noticed a group of 5 boys pointing at me and giggling. I felt even more conscious. Little did I know, they were laughing at the misery they were about to make me go through. They had decided to throw dodgeballs only in my direction, only at me. One ball hit me in the middle of my face, 2 hit my head, and another hit my stomach, and I fell on the floor. I was so ashamed of myself as everyone started laughing. I managed to hold back my tears, and I ran out of the gym room. I left PE class and never returned. That day, I saw the ugly side of the world, the very unkind side. But today, here's what I know. You will not always be the prettiest person in the room, and you will not always be the most popular or the funniest, but you can always be kind every minute of your life. Because that's in your hands. Yes, being smart, funny, popular, they're great things, but being kind, empathetic, compassionate, these things are just better. Hi everyone, I'm Sahiba, a 5 feet tall, chubby girl trying to change the world, one person at a time. Now trust me, I'm clueless myself how that's going to happen, but at least I can try to change one thought, make one person kinder, and so on till the world is changed. Right before we moved to Canada, I had asked my parents, what career should I pursue after high school there? I mean, Canada will have tons of opportunities. And all my friends in India knew that their parents wanted them to be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer. And my mom, without a second thought, replied, before becoming anything else in this world, Sahiba, become a kind person, a good human being. I wish this was taught in high schools as well, because being bullied every single day wasn't the kind of experience I had expected. From grade 10 to 12, every single school day seemed like a punishment for a crime I haven't even committed. I had 0 friends for 3 years. 7 hours each day, I used to sit quiet and shut. Why? Because I was constantly called fat, ugly, a midget, and whatnot. I was deliberately pushed in the hallway so I'd trip over and fall. I was told I should go back to my India. Well, what did that lead on to? I started missing school more. I started getting bad grades. I dreaded facing every single person that belonged to my high school. I started doubting my abilities, my appearance, and I started hating myself for being a misfit. I was really in a really dark place. One day, in a quarrel with my mother about what was wrong with me, why was I missing school so much? I mean, I was an A student always. I became so frustrated and fed up that I went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, barged into my room, slammed and locked the door, and sat on the floor staring at the knife. As teardrops fell, I realized how emotionally disturbed I was. In that moment, I knew this wasn't the girl I was. I needed help. The door knocks by my family softened my heart, and I told them, I need help. I need to see a doctor. And I am so, so thankful for my parents for being so understanding and disbanding the stigma that revolves around emotional disorders and for taking me to a therapist. That's when I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, also known as BPD, co occurring with depression and anxiety. And to those who don't know, BPD is characterized by severe mood swings, distorted self image, impulsive behavior, chronic feeling of emptiness, reoccurring suicidal thoughts, and self harm. So I was going through all of this while dealing with the sadness caused by depression and the nervousness and turmoil caused by anxiety. The dark place I was in, I thought it was very hard for me to get out of it. After a few days in therapy, I realized that my therapist was doing a fairly simple thing. She was just practicing kindness on me. Every time I was crying, she was there with the tissue box. And every time I wanted to talk about my life, she was there to listen to all the hardships, to listen how the kids in school has broken the build of my confidence. She taught me so many coping mechanisms, and she taught me to appreciate every small act of kindness that would come my way, to appreciate that one friend I can call my friend, and to appreciate my school counselor, my teachers, and anyone who dealt with me in a kind way. She reminded me to be everything that my parents had hoped I'd become, a kinder person. I knew then that in order to save myself, I had to be kind to my mind, my body, and everyone who's around me. I told myself that I am not my weight or my height. I am so much more than that. I made it very, very clear that my scars, they don't define my weaknesses, but they define how brave I was to survive. Now, I try to practice small acts of kindness whenever I can. I would cross out mean things written behind washroom doors. I would back up a girl who's crying, talk young people of my age out of suicide and self-harm, and just practice humaneness, self-love, and most importantly, kindness. So I really, really hope that today you're taking something away from my story. Just like my mother taught me, when you're around your friends or family, you will embed the seed of kindness in them. So they evolve to be human beings who help others, not bully them, who lend their hand for friendship, not to hit them in their faces. Care to be things that matter in general, things that matter as human beings. Offer a tissue to someone who's crying and your junior chicken burger to a homeless man. Don't care about the weight you've lifted in the gym, but care about lifting someone else's spirit high. Don't care about the likes you have on your photo on your Instagram, but care about bringing a smile on someone else's face. Don't care about having Gucci shoes and all that fancy stuff, but care about providing someone poor with whatever they need. Care how to be kind. Don't focus on having a clear skin. Focus on having a clear heart. Because external beauty, it's going to fade with wrinkled and saggy skin. I mean, of course, there's Botox, but external beauty will live eternally. So I really hope today I've at least made one person reflect on how they can be kind. And this is exactly how I plan to change the world. And actually, we all can change the world together by doing a very, very simple thing, being kind. Lastly, I'd like to share a quote I wrote for my writing page. Saiba says, when you're a flower, you'll be surrounded by thorns and so many bees, just like sorrows and negative human beings. But pain is a boon because it will always teach you how to be kinder, courageous, and how to bloom. Thank you.